Okay, so Lindsay is now going to measure Sergio's withers, and she's found the centre of the flexible curve, and remember to leave a loop at the top, not pushing it too tightly together. Then she's going to place it over Sergio's withers, just an inch behind the yellow chalk mark. Excellent, and pushing it in gently to take a shape of his withers at this area. And then she'll lift it off and take it to the withers card. Okay, now we're going to measure the cantle area, the area of the horse that lies underneath the cantle area of the saddle. And to do this, we put the flexible curve 2 to 3 inches in front of the yellow chalk mark, pressing it down firmly, right down to the bottom, to take a mould of the shape of the horse's back, so it gets the slope of the horse's back. And then of course we'll make the template to find out if the saddle matches this slope. So Lindsay's going to take this now to the cantle card, place it on it, and then draw under this, and then she will cut along this line. There are many measurements that you can take of the horse's back, where we did on the withers, for example, or further back than that. As long as they match up to the same place on the saddle, it's absolutely fine. Same goes with the cantle area. We can take measurements further forwards than the one we actually took, right the way along the horse's back. Same goes for taking the lateral measurement. We normally take one for this in this kit that is parallel to the horse's spine, but you can take one of the spine itself, as Lindsay's now just doing, placing it down onto the spine. Some saddlers will want this if they're going to make a saddle for you, and that's how to do it. And then you put it on the template card, cut it out the same way as we're going to now. The one we're going to do now is 3 inches down from the spine, but again you could do one further down, so like 4 or 5 inches down, but this one today is 3 inches down. You see Lindsay is pressing it down to the shape of Sergio's back, and then she will take this to the template card, but that will give us the shape of Sergio's back now. Excellent. Here are some templates that we cut out earlier. As you can see, this is the back template, remembering that you draw underneath the flexible curve and then cut out along that line, and then you must make a note of which end of the flexible curve is at the withers end, so you know which to put at the pommel end of the saddle when you're coming to check its shape. And then above that here we have the withers template that we cut out. Again, we'll use the bottom part of this now to check that it fits the saddle, but we'll hold on to the top part of it for checking the shape of your horse in the future to see if it's changed or remained the same. And then above that we have the cantle template, ready to take to the saddle to check that it fits. We're now going to bring Sergio's withers template to his saddle to see if it fits. Before we do this though, we want to know just how far down the sides of the saddle the tree goes, because the tree, if you remember, is rigid, and it's this part of the saddle that exerts pressure on the horse. Now Lindsay's bending the sides of the saddle, and you can see how it bends underneath the end of the saddle, the tree, and she's putting a chalk mark here so that she knows how far to measure down. Right? So now Lindsay will bring the template, Sergio's template, and put it 1 inch underneath the saddle. Now, where the yellow marks are, the chalk marks are, she will bend the template back, because we don't care about the area underneath this. It exerts no pressure on the horse. And look how beautifully that fits. We're now going to use a template of a horse that is too narrow for this saddle. So Lindsay's going to place the template that we took from this horse under the saddle, and you'll see how narrow it is compared to the shape of the underside of the saddle, and how it connects at 2 points only, and these would end up being quite sore pressure points for this horse. We're now bringing a template to the saddle from a horse that is a lot wider than Sergio, and you can see we can't even get it under the saddle because it is so wide. And in fact, if you could push this down on the horse, you'd see that there again are two pressure points where it connects with the horse's back, and again this saddle on this horse would cause pain. We're now going to take a template of the area under the cantle from Sergio's back. We're going to put it under the cantle of his saddle, and you will see that it fits beautifully with just exactly the same amount of slope. Beautiful. We're now going to bring another template from under the cantle area, but this is from another horse, a horse whose back is more sloping than Sergio's. Now if you look at this template going under his saddle, you will see that it is a different slope altogether, and there's a lot of pressure. It just connects on 2 points where there will be a lot of pressure if this horse had this saddle placed on his back, and consequently possibly pain. We're now going to bring another template from under the cantle area. This is from a horse whose back is flatter than Sergio's, and you see as Lindsay puts the template underneath it how it's a completely different shape from Sergio's back, and how it connects on 2 points again, which will cause a lot of pressure on these points and possibly pain. We're now bringing the template that we made from Sergio's back to the underside of his saddle. Now this template, you can see, fits perfectly. It matches the shape of Sergio's back, and it will be comfortable on him. This next template is from a horse whose back is much more curved than Sergio's, and you can see that there are two areas of pressure, two areas where the saddle connects, hence two areas of pressure. This saddle would bridge this horse's back and cause pressure and possibly pain in these two areas. This template is from a horse whose back is a lot flatter than Sergio's, and you can see that it only connects in the middle and would have a great tendency to rock on this horse's back and cause pressure also in the central area and possibly pain. There are many reasons for a horse to change shape. It can be that the food that it's getting is changing, such as when the grass comes in the summer or when it ceases to be there in the winter. The first of these will cause it to put weight on, the second it will lose weight. It could be that the fitting work you're doing is putting muscles on and changing the shape of the back under the saddle. It could be the horse just getting older and maturing and putting muscle on, or as the horse gets older, losing condition and becoming narrower. Lindsay's got the three upper parts of templates, one from that was made from Sergio previously, and she's going to put this on to see if he's changed shape. Now, if you see this, it fits just beautifully over his withers, so he hasn't changed shape, so his saddle is still going to fit him fine. Lindsay's now going to put on Sergio the template of a horse that is much narrower than him. Now, when you come to remeasure your horse, the template looks like this, won't slide down properly, that means that your horse has put on weight. You can see where there's excess pressure just on these 2 points that connect. So Lindsay's now going to put a template of a horse, the upper part of a template of a horse, that is much wider than Sergio. So if she puts this on now, you will see how wide it is on him. Flares out, see the gap that's under there. And if when you put your upper part of the template on your horse to see if he's changed shape, it looks like this, it means he's lost condition.